Welcome to another edition of the 24th Floor. I'm Richard Denson.
And of course, you know, my name is Ruben Diaz. We're going to start things off a little different today, though.
Yeah, we talk a lot about big moments in sports, but sometimes the biggest impact happens away from the spotlight.
Yeah, in fact, for 30 years, one ride has been crossing the country, not for competition, but rather to help change lives.
And we're talking about the Cal Petty Charity Ride Across America. It's a journey that's raised more than $23 million to help kids facing serious medical conditions. And this year, that ride covers more than 3,400 miles across 11 states, including a stop right here in Memphis.
So we could talk about it, but why not have the man himself talk about it? Instead of us running our mouths, let's talk to Mr. Kyle Petty himself, NASCAR royalty, if you will. Kyle, we appreciate you taking the time for being with us today.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad that you're not talking about all the stuff we were talking about off air before we came on here, because that makes me feel old, man.
Yeah. So, Cal, 30 years into this, if you want to feel old, that is how long I've been alive. It's 30 years. What still drives you to keep doing it?
You know, we started this thing because there were a few of us that really wanted to ride bikes from California to North Carolina, ride motorcycles. And we told people we were going to do it, and they said, "You are crazy." And we said, "Oh, no, we're going to do it for charity." And they said, "That's the greatest idea we've ever heard." So that's what we did. And, you know, the first year we stopped, we gave a donation to a firefighter who had been injured in a fire in Huntington Beach. We helped a family in Phoenix buy a handicap accessible van. We just did different things, stopped at a couple of children's hospitals, and that kind of resonated, the children's hospitals. So we did that for a number of years. And then my oldest son, Adam, was killed in a racing accident in 2000, and I had driven some sports car races with Paul Newman, so we built a camp for children with serious medical needs and chronic medical needs in North Carolina, part of Paul's Serious Fun group of camps. And we've seen over 150,000 kids through the camp and through our REACH program, totally free of charge. That's why we raise money. So that's why we ride. We ride to raise money to send kids to camp. We've raised over $23 million in the previous 29 years that we've done this thing. So we're going to keep riding as long as there's kids with craniofacial, with Crohn's, gastrointestinal, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, with illnesses that they will have their entire lives. We're going to ride motorcycles and raise money.
So we talk about money a lot. You know, 23 million is a lot. But think about how many kids that actually impacts, right? So $23 million is one number, but the amount of kids that you guys are helping has got to be, I mean, I know you guys got to feel great about what you're doing.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. And I told somebody earlier today, and I say this all the time, we lost one child in Adam, one son. But I feel like I have 150,000 other kids that are part of my family, because when I go to camp and I see these kids and they have that smile on their face, it's that Adam Petty smile. And I know he's still there with us. So, yeah, it does. It makes you feel good. But I'm telling you what, man, it is. I tell people all the time, you walk in the gate and you pat yourself on the back and it's like, oh, look what I'm doing for these kids. And then you hang out with them and it's like, oh my gosh, look what they do for me. Look how they make me feel. Look what they do for me. They're such special kids, such special individuals. So yeah, it's a collective group of us that do this and ride and do all this stuff. But it's amazing how it does make you feel when you roll into camp and see everybody.
What would you say that's what keeps people coming back, is the positive attitude and just so much of the good cause? Yeah, listen, it is. It definitely is. We've got people that have been on this ride 30 years. We've got people that have been on this ride 25 years. Half the riders have been on 15 or more years. We've got a lot of new riders this year. We opened it up for new riders in our 30th year. So hopefully these people will stay another 15 or 20 years. But that is what keeps them coming back. They become a family. The camp kids become a family. It's like helping. It's like we grew up in rural North Carolina, small community. And you help your neighbors. You help your neighbors get up hay. You help your neighbors when they're in need. You help your neighbors babysit their kids or whatever you need to do, dog sit. It doesn't make any difference. And that's kind of the way the ride is. It's become a group of friends that are tight like family that just want to help their neighbors.
How many riders are we actually talking about? And do you guys know where you're going to stop when you get to Memphis? That sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. There's 150 of us. We limit it. We opened it up this year to 150 bikes. Most of the time we're 125. It's like herding cats. I will say that. You never know where everybody's going. You're doing this. We've got We've got 6 or 8 motor marshals that travel with us. We have 2 full-time doctors, 2 full-time nurses that are with us. We have 6 paramedics that go with us all the time. We have, we have a support group, all different groups that go with us. So there's probably 30 or 40, 50 people that go with us just to keep us moving along. We're staying at the guest house at Graceland, and we're so excited, man. We are pumped. We're having dinner in the car museum and Elvis's car museum. My dad is so looking forward to this. I can't even tell you how excited my dad is. We're going to take a tour of Graceland and then go across to the museum, and we are. We've been through Graceland. We've been through Memphis, I think, once or twice before, but this is our second trip, and it's been almost 25, 26 years since we came through. So we are pumped to come there and go through Graceland.
Well, you know, he kind of buried the lead when he talked about his dad there. His dad, like Ruben said at the beginning, NASCAR royalty right there with Richard Petty. Yep. And now I gotta tell the people, Kyle, a little bit what we talked about when we went on the air. So a fun fact, a little small world between the Petty family and myself. So my dad used to work for this company called Georgia Pacific, who used to sponsor Kyle when he was racing. And when I was a kid, my dad took me to Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Kyle was getting ready for his race. And so his dad, you know, and a lot of the big wig guys, they were like kind of having fun up in the press box. So my dad took me up into the press box where there was a bunch of food and everything. And I remember meeting Kyle's dad, Richard. He signed my Georgia Pacific hat, and he patted me on the head, and he gave me a hug. And it's just like he was so cool with the hat and the shades and everything.
It's just cool in general, though.
Yeah, and it was, you know, we went down and we said hello to Kyle. He was getting ready for his race and everything, and it was just such a fun time. And just all these years later, it's something that I remember, and so that's a big reason why I kind of wanted to have Kyle on the show as well to kind of share that story.
Yeah, listen, that is. And that's my dad. That's my dad. No matter where he goes, you know, it's so funny. And I will tell you this. And you met him when you were a kid. He's the only guy I know he's 88 years old. He'll be 89 this year. And because of the Cars movie, he was Mr. the King in the Cars movie. He's the only guy I know that's 88 years old that has fans that are 6 to 96 years old. He spans a century just about when you start looking at it. And here's the little fun fact too. If you go back and watch the Elvis movie, Speedway, my dad was in the Elvis movie, Speedway, with the King. So that's the King in the same movie, Speedway, with Elvis Presley. So that's what my dad said. He said, I am so excited. He said, I met Elvis. I was in the movie with him, did all this stuff. But he said, never had a chance to go to Graceland. So this is his first shot.
Seems like a lot of Memphis connection here. So when this ride comes through Memphis, Kyle, what do you want people here to take away from it?
So obviously part of what we do is spread what we call the gospel of Victory Junction. If you know a child that can benefit from this camp, go to victoryjunction.org. And if you know a child, we will get them there. We've seen tons of kids from St. Jude's. What a great institution that is, that come to camp and then go back to the hospital. But it is amazing how these two institutions can do. We don't heal people. St. Jude's heals. We just empower kids to be kids. For a week at camp, they get to do the ropes course and do things like that. So we spread the gospel of that. So anywhere we are, when we roll in, we want fans to come out. My dad will be with us, Richard Petty. I think at that point in time, Clint Boyer, who works with Fox, he'll still be with us. Matt Kenseth will probably be with us. Kenny Wallace, Kenny Schrader, David Reagan, Bill Davidson from great-great-grandson of the founders of Harley-Davidson, Rutledge Wood from Top Gear fame. So we got a few celebrities, but if you want to come out and talk racing instead of music, because that's what Memphis is, music and barbecue. If you want to talk racing, come out and see us.
Funny that, you know, we're talking about that you just name dropped a lot of people that are big in the business, right? And when I was covering sports in Tulsa, I actually went down to Texas Motor Speedway to cover a NASCAR race. And we did a little behind the scenes where we went in one of y'all's trailers and we're playing video games and stuff before the game. And so I ended up getting a program with Kyle's signature, Kurt Busch. I mean, we had a bunch of just dudes on there, right? And I wasn't really a NASCAR watcher at the time. Yeah. But it kind of really turned it. And I got to see kind of behind the scenes of how you guys get to be before the race, which I thought was super interesting, right? Yeah. That you get to just kind of be guys before you have to jump in the car. And so it's so fun to see the side of you.
Yeah. But listen, that's all we do. And I tell people this all the time. I drove a race car for a living, which means I spent my entire life riding around in circles. That's all I did. That's all. I didn't cure anything. I didn't change the world. I just entertained for a week riding around in circles, and that's kind of the way it is. But it's a great group of people. The people that drive race cars, the people that work in motorsports, is just an incredible group of people. No matter where you go, man. Ricky Stenthouse is from your area there. What a great guy Ricky is. You know what I mean? And he just what's the name of that? He grew up in that dirt track there in is it West Memphis? The Pit or something like, I can't remember what they called that dirt track, but he grew up racing there. But there is race people just are caring, giving people and want to give back. And that's what's good. That's why when you raise your hand, you say we're going to do something like this, so many people show up.
Kyle, last question before we got to get you out of here is why should people make it a point to come out on May 6th?
So, you know what? I tell people this. If you want to have a smile on your face and know that you're doing good and helping your fellow man and helping a child somewhere, come out and say hello. That's all we ask. You know, and the bonus is you get to meet Richard Petty. The bonus is you get to meet Matt Kenseth or Clint Boyer. But at the end of the day, you know, this is all about helping other people. And that's what the charity ride is all about. Yeah, we're riding motorcycles and we're doing this and we're doing that, whatever it may be. But we're doing it to draw attention to these children and how they feel and how their needs are and what their needs are. So if we can do that, man, we'll keep doing this for years and years. And I'm sure we'll come back through Memphis again.
I know we're going to let you go, but I got to ask you real quick. How do people it's a charity ride. How do people donate? Yeah. How do they give if they see this and say, man, I want to get involved with that?
Yeah, go to KylePettyCharityRide.com or go to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, KP Charity Ride or Kyle Petty Charity Ride. And there's links to donate. Every dime that we take in goes straight to send kids to camp. Once we pay all our bills, every dime goes to send kids to camp. And like I said, man, we've sent a lot of kids through camp. We continue to, and hopefully we'll be talking again, but the next time we talk, hopefully those numbers have gone up another 25,000 people.
All right.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it. The Kyle Petty Charity Ride coming to Memphis May 6th. Kyle, we appreciate your time. This is almost like a bucket list thing I didn't check off. I know it'll make my dad happy when I send it to him. Thank you so much, Kyle, for your time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it. See you up there.
Absolutely. Right, absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a special guest in the studio.
I was shocked when this person walked through the door. It takes a lot to shock me.
We'll tell you about it when we come back.